Hello and welcome to this course. Once again, I'm really glad that you joined me on this course. You will learn quite a lot of things from this course because what I've done is put together tried and tested strategies and tools to enable you overcome your emotional trauma. We will now look at the meaning of emotional trauma and how it can occur in one's life. In subsequent lessons, I will share my tried and tested tools and strategies that will help you overcome your own emotional trauma. So let's get started. What is emotional trauma and why is it so debilitating? Here is a definition from the American Psychological Association, APA. Emotional trauma is a type of damage to the mind that occurs as a result of a severely distressing event. Trauma is often the result of an overwhelming amount of stress that exceeds one's ability to cope or integrate the emotions involved with that experience. Trauma may result from a single distressing experience or recurring events of being overwhelmed that can be precipitated in weeks, years, or even decades as the person struggles to cope with the immediate circumstances, eventually leading to serious long-term negative consequences. So what are the causes of emotional trauma? Traumatic events cause emotional trauma. Such events come in a range of shapes and forms. Some traumatic experience examples tend to be unexpected and isolated rather than ongoing. That includes such things as hurricanes and other natural disasters, sexual or physical assaults, the death of a loved one, divorce or a breakup after a long time together, witnessing severe violence towards others, severe physical injuries, and so much more. Other events may occur or recur repeatedly or remain a constant in one's everyday life. Common examples of traumatic events in this category include long-term physical, sexual, or emotional abuse, especially if you are in an abusive relationship. Living in a war zone, as people are currently living in various places like Ukraine. Growing up in an area affected by gang violence. If you live in London or even in the UK, several parts of the UK now, a lot of young people are being knifed to death by gangs. And that can cause a lot of trauma for other young children growing up in these areas. So any of these events can challenge your mind's normal coping mechanisms. When this happens, you have a traumatic emotional reaction. Now, getting through a breakup or a divorce is a very difficult thing because one's hope of having a loving partner with whom they can share sad and happy times is now shattered. The tendency is for one to feel desolate, abandoned, and alone. It can cause emotional trauma for the individual. So maybe your own breakup or divorce may have caused you your current emotional trauma. I wonder, do you remember how you reacted to the news from your ex that he or she is moving out or leaving you, or that conversation that began with, we need to have a discussion about our relationship, or the blunt, I want a divorce. Such statements usually create a whirlwind of negative emotions for the recipients. If you are the one on the receiving end and you didn't see it coming, it usually comes as a shock. You would probably think, this is not happening, because you just can't believe it. Or you could burst into tears and start to wallow in misery. And the usual thought here is, I'm not good enough, I'm being rejected, and no one will ever want me again. We will look at what these limiting beliefs can cause you in a later lesson. So we'll begin by looking at the 5 stages of grief in the next lesson. By the end of this course, you should feel much happier with yourself and be in a position to begin planning for your much happier future, all by yourself, without the influence of your ex. Yippee! That is something to celebrate and look forward to, surely. In fact, my main purpose in this course is to help you to celebrate your life and be much happier than you have ever been. You can make this happen by applying all my strategies and tools conscientiously. To make sure that your recovery starts straight away, I have added 3 one-to-one hourly coaching sessions with me as part of this course. You can book yours straight away, and you can book it every fortnight. This will enable you to start setting your success goals straight away. If you are currently struggling with your if you're currently struggling with your negative emotions, this will enable you to start setting your success goals straight away. If you are currently still struggling with your negative emotions, this one-to-one coaching will be very useful to you. You will begin to see real results in your recovery process as soon as possible, because I will hold you accountable to ensure that you complete your action plans as scheduled. After the first 3 sessions, you may book more paid sessions with me if you wish. So here's the link to book your first one-to-one coaching session with me. I suggest you copy it and just paste it on your browser so you can book your first session with me. So I hope the prospect of starting to rebuild your life positively without your ex in it excites you. And my tools and strategies and my coaching will altogether be extremely useful in moving you towards your full recovery so you can rebuild your life positively. So I'll see you in the next lesson.